well above my head. I am standing up straight, I promise you. That's my tippy toes, but yeah, it's a beast. This time of year, we have so many fruits coming through, so much ripening up. The Superhots are definitely coming into their own. You know, until this point, obviously the capsicum annum, capsicum frutescens, so that's the milder varieties, things like the jalapeno, cayenne, peri peri, that sort of thing. They've been fruiting for quite a while now, so many of them are ripe. But I still have a lot of them coming through, ripening up at this moment. But the real star of the show right now is the Superhot, and we have a lot of them. It's just so lovely to see. So let's take a look around the greenhouses and see how the plants are doing, and yeah, let's take a look at some beautiful chili peppers. We'll start off in ChilliChump. This is my smallest greenhouse, and yeah, it's looking good in here. Not as impressive as some of the other places I'm going to show you in just a bit, but still is looking good. This one here I'm primarily using for breeding of my plants, and isolation of some of them, so there's a bit of a mixed bag in here. Over here we have our citron. This is a Superhot. Oh no, well, not a Superhot, it's a hot, it's capsicum chinense. It has a bit of spice. We have Malawan Picant. That's a bit of a cross I'm working on actually with the Malawan Picant. Some Superhots over here. See that gnarly chili. Yeah, isn't that just gorgeous? Let's take a look, see what this is. I think it's a dragon's breath. We'll just confirm with Seedzio. Just scan the tag, and it is indeed a dragon's breath. And yeah, that's producing quite nicely. These are looking a lot healthier, these pods, than my dragon's breath from a few years ago. They're quite small pods, but that looks quite nice. The dragon's breath obviously has an interesting bit of history. A bit of controversy as well. I think the person who was marketing them originally was trying to make out like it was the hottest thing in the world. Don't get me wrong, they are very, very spicy. Hottest thing in the world? I don't know about that, but they are a pretty plant and they definitely have some heat. Here's a CC Golden Nugget that I'm isolating. Again, just trying to stabilize this even further, just to get some of these amazing qualities that you can see here. So obviously the one thing that's very striking about this plant is the leaves with the white tips and all that sort of thing. But the other thing I really like about it is this. It's a quality I've been trying to breed into it so that every plant has this. And you can see there the purple fringing in the white bits. I just think it's stunning. So yeah, this is something I'm pretty proud of. It's just such a beautiful plant, and to get it to be consistent, putting out these sort of pods with the cool striping on them, as well as these leaves, which are actually probably more important to me than the pods. Yeah, I'm just really pleased with it. So it's looking gorgeous. Look at these pods. They just look like little pearls, gems. Stunning. We are trying to get the qualities out of these plants that, you know, that I want at least. So even though I'm trying to keep the cultivar the same, I'm breeding within its own species. I'm not, or breeding within its own cultivar. I'm not crossbreeding. What I am doing is just trying to get the strongest seeds possible, the strongest fruiting possible, and also get the qualities that I want. So for example, like I showed you, that one there is pretty tall. It's kind of coming up near to, well, just above shoulder height. If we look down here, that's obviously quite a bit lower. It's the same plant, same seeds, but I'll choose from these two which ones I'll actually keep seeds from to try and grow it on. Or I might be using some of my other pepper dew plants and see the qualities we get from that. So I obviously have quite a few pepper dew plants growing, probably about 30, I think. And yeah, we just keep on choosing the best of the breed each time and make sure that we just get better and better plants each year. Let's skip over the ChilliChump, polytunnel over here, and we'll go straight through to Big Chump again, because I want to show you another pepper dew that is a little more interesting than those two. But again, obviously I'm growing this one in a bit of a different way because there's obviously an end goal to it. I am trying to create an absolute monster, and it's also somewhat of a friendly competition with you guys if you're growing pepper dews as well, seeing who can get the biggest plant, but more importantly, who can get the most pods off a single plant. And I think I'm doing pretty well, although I've seen some of your guys' plants out there. Simply Wild Living. Wow, he's got a beast. I think it might be bigger than mine, but let's take a look at this one. So here is my monster pepper dew. It is being grown hydroponically. You can see the system down there. This is my own system that I've designed and built, and it is just absolutely stunning. It is growing well over my head. I want to tell it, get into the bush here. It is just gorgeous, and there's still time. We still have, I'd say, probably another 2-3 weeks of active growing. At that point, things are really going to slow down, unless we get really cold weather, and then I might do it sooner. So this will get even bigger, and I'll show you also the plant behind it in just a sec, because that's even bigger than this one. Not a pepper dew, but we'll talk about that in a sec. So we see low down, lots of pods coming through. These are still very, very young pods, but we have loads of them. They're just completely bushing out. Stunning. And they take a while to ripen, but let's have a look in there. Some lovely sized ones. So again, I might choose seeds from this one to grow on. Just because this plant is massive doesn't mean that the seed stock from this is going to be stronger or better than other seed stock. You know, it's obviously a situation where I'm growing it in a way to purposely get it as large as possible. But at the same time, it is such a healthy plant, and I chose it for this system over here because even in the beginning it was growing bigger and better than my other plants. So again, that's part of that selective breeding process. So we see we do have some ripe ones coming through there, all on the inside, weirdly enough, but these are stunning fruit. So if you are joining in this competition, you're going to be a winner regardless of whether you actually win or not, because these pods are so tasty. And if you use my recipe, which I'll link up on the screen or I'll link down below in the description, you'll have some of the tastiest sweet pickled chilies you've ever had. So we've got loads here. It seems to like to ripen inside the shadow a little bit. They're all kind of hidden here. The ones out in the open aren't yet ripening up, but yeah, there's plenty time still. But isn't that stunning? This plant is just so healthy looking. Green leaves, and so happy with it. So one of the challenges I have, and I need to finish up on my Hydro Wars series to talk about some of the challenges, but one of the challenges I'm having at the moment is getting through, so let's get in here, getting through to actually top up my water reservoir. I mean, this here was not as crowded as this beginning of the season, obviously, but yeah, in the last maybe month or so, this has just grown like a jungle. So I have to be so careful not to break things, like these beautiful pods over here. Check out those. But yeah, pepper dew is doing well. How's yours doing? If you are joining in this competition, again, it's friendly competition. I don't have any prizes necessarily. I'm sure I'll find something to be able to give the winner. But how are yours doing? Let me know in the comments down below. So this plant over here is a warthog. Some of you might know what a warthog is. Some of you might not. It's supposedly the next big hot chili out there. However, it's meant to be red. But a few people who have been growing these seeds have actually noticed that theirs are yellow as well. Now, thankfully, I do have red ones as well. But I will try these yellow ones on the next live stream. Make sure that you join. I think it is this coming Sunday. Is it this coming Sunday? Or maybe the Sunday after. But we'll be trying one of these, and we'll be trying one of the red ones, because unfortunately they're all ripe and time for me to get in a little bit of pain. So make sure you join the live stream. It's the first Sunday of every month. But look at these pods. They don't look so scary, but believe me, they will hurt if they are anything like their parentage, which is the Wartrix. Yeah, it's going to be hot. Let's go take a look at a red one, which is the other beast that's sitting over there well above my head. So basically, this here is the same height. Actually, that one's a little bit higher, this cage. But let's get round here. You can see there, this is just, it's huge. I'm sure that's 7 feet now, well over 7 feet. And if you watched my video previously where I said the 7 feet challenge for the Warthog, well, I've hit that challenge. Yeah, I've succeeded. but that thing's massive. Let's see me in the shot as well. There you go. Well above my head. I am standing up straight, I promise you. That's my tippy toes, but yeah, it's a beast. Take a look at these pods. I mean, those are huge, but look inside there and you can see the ripe ones. Again, massive pods, and they seem to like to ripen in the shade. Oh, that's a scary looking one there, I think. Look at that. But yeah, we have plenty pods in here, all hidden inside there. And just check at this. Isn't that amazing? I've been doing this for many years, and I still get excited when I see a beautiful plant like this. Look at that. That's lovely. If growing chilies like this doesn't excite you, then you shouldn't be doing it, because it's just such a fulfilling hobby. There are so many pods coming through on this, and beautiful sized ones. This plant is doing so fantastically. And the thing is, we have more flowers coming through, so I'm guessing we're going to have more pods as well. I think we're going to get a ton off this. Be interesting to see how many kilograms of pods we get off of this one plant. But yeah, a bit difficult to move around in here at the moment without breaking branches, so I'm trying to be careful. But so pleased, so pleased. Another beautiful ornamental plant is this one right here. It's the Chinese 5-color. Got a bit of a spider web going on, but check that out. All the different colors. Beautiful plant to grow, and really easy to grow as well. Just so beautiful. You can grow this in a windowsill. Just a little bit of supplemental light might be good, but otherwise, yeah, you're just going to have such a beautiful little compact plant. You can put it in a small pot, and you'll see all these colors coming through. Flowers, lovely purple as well. Yeah, all the colors. Just beautiful, beautiful. So pleased with how things have gone this season. Just, yeah, couldn't ask for much more. The beginning was a bit of a challenge with the aphids that we had, but quickly resolved that after a lot of stressing. But yeah, we managed to sort that out. Some more peri-peri, and oh, here we go, some Bangalore whippet's tail. Or these spaghetti chilies. I think I need to support that plant. It is leaning over a little bit. Get some bamboo in there. Sort that out. Oh, here's another beauty I wanted to show you guys. Took some photos and shared them on Instagram, so if you do want to go follow me on Instagram, I do post pictures now and then, and some posts. But check that out. This is a Testarossa orange. Look at that. They kind of start off purple. There's a good example. Kind of this dark purple, almost black. And then they ripen up with these multicolors. They do go like almost a bright orange, but like a flame type look. It's really pretty. So these are also, I would consider, ornamentals. This is a Buna Mulata, but they actually taste really good as well. They're very similar in flavor to a cayenne, but they go these purple colors and then ripen off to like almost a red with these purple streaking on it. But yeah, mostly starting off this purple, and yeah, this looks pretty. But yeah, this is something that's actually useful too. These ones here, these are pretty, and they are actually rather tasty. I had one on a live stream recently. I thought they're going to be hotter, but they're not very spicy. This is the vampire chili. And what's interesting here is most of them are this sort of long, pointy chili. You can see there's a nice little bunch of them. And they go from this almost black, I mean, look at that, black all the way up. And then ripen through to red with a bit of black kind of mottling on it. But a few of them, instead of being long and pointy, are, I don't know, they have a bit of an innie. So I have a few like that. There's another one over there, bit of an innie. Interesting, I thought. Okay, let's go take a look at ChilliChump. Things are looking lovely in here. We've had a few more breakages, but nothing too serious, thankfully. But pods are definitely all ripening up. We've been picking loads of jalapeños. We had some this last weekend for a barbecue we had, and that was just delicious. Lots of them ripening up. As you can see there, that's where I like to pick it, where it's just starting to flush color where it's just about to turn, because this is when it's going to be firmest, and it's going to also have a lot of sugar content in there, because obviously when it's fully ripened, that's when most of the sugar content is going to be in there. But when it's green, that's when it's going to have the firmest crunch to it. So if you're going to pickle them, it's definitely something you want to do when it's green, or if you're going to make is it cowboy candy? No, jalapeno candy. When you make cowboy candy, again, these are my CC jalapeno. But when you make cowboy candy, again, you want them to have a bit of a crunch. When you do it with the riper chilies, unfortunately, you're not going to maintain that crunch as much. You can actually feel that's a little bit soft. And that one over there, a bit of corking going on, but that's a little bit soft, and that's fine for sauces and things like that. But if you want the crunch, I mean, that's pretty damn firm. Giving that a proper squeeze versus that there, you can see is giving way a little bit. So this is my CC jalapeno. We do have some stock in the store right now, but we will be restocking again soon, because obviously we do have a lot of ripe ones coming through. But tempted to pick that and eat it tonight. Wrapped in bacon, stuffed with cheese. Another stunning Superhot. Check this out. Check the colors on that. I mean, this is a Superhot chili. It's not meant to be so pretty. Oh, it's lovely. I mean, the green ones there, you can also see. They're scary looking, and they definitely are going to be hot. This is another Testarossa orange, I believe. Let me confirm again with Seedzio. Again, if you don't know what Seedzio is, it's basically my app that I've developed to help track plants. It's free to use. If I can find the tag. There we go. Yeah, it is a Testarossa orange. You can see over there. But yeah, go check it out, seedzio.com. If you want to track your plants, share your results with your friends, you can go do it there. Look at this plant. Man, this is a beautiful specimen. So we were talking about selective breeding a little bit earlier. I've got a few Testarossa oranges, and this one here is just such a beautiful example. These are going to be the seeds that I carry on for my next generation. But just look at that there. If I could get every one of my pods to look that pretty on this plant, I would be very happy. But yeah, it's got a lot of pods on it. We can see loads growing through over there. There's some lovely big examples here, but they all have this beautiful coloring coming through, and it's just gorgeous. But it's nice to have that spike. That's not something I've really seen too much on these. There's another one there, a little bit of a spike, kind of like a scorpion. Love this plant. I just love seeing it, and I'll be definitely getting some seeds from it to grow on for next season. This, I believe, is a Tabasco. It's got your typical hallmarks of a capsicum frutescens. You can see the way the pedicel is over there, rounded, all pointing upwards like that. It's got the white flowers. It's just a lovely example. I don't think it's my CC Peri Peri. It does look quite a bit different to that. Let's just confirm with Seedzio. It is a Tabasco plant. So yeah, we'll see if it actually has the typical Tabasco flavor. I got these seeds from somebody else. They're obviously not my seeds. I haven't had much luck with Tabasco in the past. And if I'm honest, these don't look like your typical Tabasco. You see how it's a little bit ribbed. Tabasco are normally smooth bullet shape. These are not so much. But if the flavor is good, then hey, we might keep it. Just make it clear if I do sell seeds on these that it's not your typical phenotype of Tabasco, but yeah, if the flavor is good, it might be worth getting those seeds back in the ground. But I love the look of this plant. I love how it's grown. It is massive. It's well above my head, so it's I'd say it's about just under 7 foot, or maybe at 7 feet high, and it's got loads and loads of pods, and we've still got lots coming through. This whole space in here is just lovely coming here at this time of year. Just look at all the plants and look how healthy they look. It's gorgeous. So pleased compared to last year. Okay, we've got one more greenhouse to go check out, and that is ChilliChump. So like I said, this season has been good. I've been so pleased. The weather has not been fantastic the last 2 seasons. This season we've had a few challenges. The aphids, like I mentioned before. Lack of rain has been a bit of a challenge, so I've been constantly having anxiety about how much water I have in my water tanks. But yeah, we're definitely going to plan for that better next year. So even if it does you know, become a bit of a drought next year, I won't worry about it because, yeah, it's been a bit stressful. But other than that, the weather has been nice and consistent, and that's the thing. I think we probably had, on average, the same amount of heat last year as we do this year. The problem is it wasn't as consistent. This year, it's just been nicer, consistently warm, rather than peaks of really, really hot weather and then really, really cold weather and then raining for 3 weeks, you know, because that really ruins your season. It's just so beautiful in here. Look at all the colors. There's my Turkish flower. Lovely. And oh, I have some 7-pot yellows. These are hot. I had one on the live stream a little while back. Yeah, it reminded me just how dangerous they are. Look at that beast. But yeah, we've had pretty consistent weather. Chili plants can be quite dramatic. Basically, when the weather gets a bit rubbish and cold, if it does that for like a few days, then these chili plants can start to go dormant, and then it takes like a week or so to recover. And the problem is, if you have that inconsistently up and down, up and down, up and down, you're going to have so much period of dormancy that it's never going to be able to recover, never going to be able to grow, never going to be able to be healthy. So this year it's definitely been a lot nicer. Now you'll notice, obviously, there's a lot going on over here in the middle. That's part of my Hydro Wars series, and I'll do an update on that in the future. Obviously, some plants not looking so great, but I'll talk that through on a future video. I think these are the Goronong chilies. Look at that. But yeah, I'll talk that through in a future video. But other than that, in this place, we've got loads of ripe pods. With the smaller pots, obviously, the Superhots are ripening up a heck of a lot quicker. And the supposedly most expensive chili in the world, the ahi charapita. These tiny little pods. I think they're expensive because they're so difficult to process. But yeah, the ahi charapita is doing very well this year. Some more Superhots. What are these? Let's have a look. The Naga Twister Black. These are definitely not Naga Twister Blacks because, as you can see, they are red. So yeah, I think seeds that weren't what they were meant to be. Over here, these are just beautiful. These are, what are they called? The candy cane chocolate. These are the candy cane chocolate long, I think they're called. I know I have 2 different varieties of them. Let's see here. Yeah, this is candy cane chocolate cherry, and here's the other one. These are the candy cane chocolate cherry long, or yeah, thin pheno. I mean, they do seem pretty much exactly the same, if I'm honest. They a little bit longer, not really thin, but a little bit longer, a little bit like stretched out. Whereas these are a little bit more stubby, but beautiful. Do grow them if you can get hold of seeds for them. That's what they ripen up to, this sort of striping. They start off a yellow with the green striping. You can see the different phases that we have here. And obviously the leaves doing this cool thing as well. Very rubbery leaves, very healthy plant. Bloody weeds, man. My compost this year has had so many weeds. I've been constantly pulling these things out. Not great. So yeah, really pleased with how things have gone this year. These here are Napa cabbage, or Chinese cabbage. And I am growing them because I'm going to be making a whole bunch of kimchi, and I want to grow as much of what I'm putting into my kimchi as possible. Obviously, there's certain things that I can't do myself when it comes to making kimchi, like some of the fermented fish and that sort of thing, but maybe one day. But these are Napa cabbages, and you can see just how much kimchi I'll be making at the end of the year. I'm thinking probably about 30-40 liters, I reckon. That's my aim. And of course, I'll make a video and show you guys. I've been promising that for a very long time. I am growing gochujang, the chilies. I've been sent from 3 different people in Korea, as well as one person here in the UK. I've been sent seeds that are supposedly great Korean gochujang seeds. Perfect for making kimchi, so we'll be testing out a few of them. I'll be trying them a bit later. Cannot wait, because I've actually just run out of my kimchi that I made. I made a massive batch. I've got a big old ongi that I'd ordered from Korea that I love using. It's so awesome. But I'm also using some other containers as well, and I'll show you all that when I do make that video showing how I make kimchi. But I find watching the process, watching other people making it, I find that therapeutic. I enjoy it so much. So hopefully that's something you guys get out of it as well, because the recipe I'm using, It's a recipe you can find online. It's nothing too special. Obviously make a few little adaptations just for my tastes, but ultimately it's the same old process. But it's so satisfying to watch someone make kimchi. It's like, I don't know, well, making kimchi is also my form of meditation, but watching other people making it as well, also a form of meditation. Anyway, I hope you guys have a fantastic season, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video. And don't forget to join us for our next live stream. Until then, stay spicy.